Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and you enjoy this content, I hope you will subscribe. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the results of the rodeo market. Okay, so a little backstory. Last year when we had this market, it was on the courthouse and lawn, and it was a really, really good event. I made almost $1,000 at that event, and it was a Saturday and Sunday event. Alright, so that's what it was. That was last year. This year, I signed up for it again, and of course at the time, I was under the assumption it was going to be at the same thing as last year, you know, at the courthouse, 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. No. So what they did this year was they mixed it up with the rodeo event we had going on. And so they changed it to half a day Friday. Well, actually 5 hours from 5 to 10 on Friday and from 10 to 10 on Saturday. And it was also a pay to get in event, you know, so every person there had to pay to get in. And I did not know that, and of course when it's at the courthouse, it's, you know, as you walk on by, you know, kind of thing. And I think that had a lot to do with how the days went. People were there to see the rodeo, not to shop. They were coming in and going straight to get their seats. They didn't, you know, find a seat. And occasionally someone from that group would go and walk around, you know. But, and then of course when the rodeo was done, it's 10 o'clock at night, they're ready to go home. So no shopping then either. So let's go ahead. I got my list of what all sold and when. And so I have Friday night. I'm going to get my glasses because of course I can't see my own writing. Alright. So Friday night was one small sea turtle for $10, one small snake for $10, one chili pepper for $10, one armadillo for $30, one small sea turtle for $10, one medium sea turtle for $15, and one mushroom for $8. That was a total of $93 for Friday night, 5 hours. And then Saturday, we left our tents there. You know, they had good security and all that. So Saturday, we get there. It was about 9 o'clock, ready to open, no problems. And as soon as I got there, I had customers. You know, Saturday was, it was listed as the National Day of the Cowboy, and then later on that evening, a rodeo. So they had rodeo 2 nights in a row. But Saturday morning, if they were coming out, they were coming out to shop because, you know, that's, and we had also, the cowboys doing their little skit, and then also we had a pistol packing Paula. She was interesting. She did gun tricks, you know, like from way back when. It was really interesting. and bull whip tricks. Boy, that's a hard one to say. Anyway, all right, Saturday. We have one small alien, $5. A cat for $12. A set of stickers for $2. A small snake for $10. A shark for $15. A taco for $10. A squid for $18. And the large dragon for $35. And then it is 11 o'clock by then. And let's see. And then from 11 to noon was pretty good. Squid for $18. 2 sets of stickers for $4. 3 small sea turtles for $10 each. A ladybug for $15, a taco for $10, and a large pig for $25. So that wasn't too bad for that hour. And then the next 3 hours were the slowest I have ever experienced. It was real slow. 2 chicks for $16 and a large sea turtle for $30. 2 small octos for $24. A chicken for $15. A leggy frog for $15. A chicken nugget for $8, a chicken for $18, and a set of stickers for $2. And then I thought that was slow. You know, I even put it on my notes, very slow. And then the next 4 hours was snail slow. Matter of fact, if I had known it was going to be that slow and other vendors were closing up their tents and leaving for, I'm assuming, dinner, I would have done the same. But I didn't know that was the case, and so I just sat there. And for the next 4 hours, I made $40, and we'll go through that. 1 small ball for $3, 1 baby chick for $8, 1 beer stein for $10, 2 sticker sets for $4, and 1 medium sea turtle for $15. So yeah, I sat there and sat there and sat there. And it was, oh my goodness, if I had known, if only I had known. But it is what it is. All right, after 7 p.m., things really started to pick up a little bit. I had just a little backstory here. I did have a bin from the previous market that I had marked things down by 40%, and no, 30%. And halfway through the day, when I was sitting there doing nothing, I decided to go ahead and mark that basket of things down to 50%. And so now I have some sales from that. I had a family come in and just like almost picked it clean. Okay, we have a cowgirl gnome for $20, 2 small snakes for $20, a rainbow alien for $12, a cowboy gnome for $20, a cowgirl gnome for $20, A Harley Hog for $15, a Smoocher for $10, a chicken nugget for $8, a set of stickers for $2, and a small alien for $5. And now we're at 9 o'clock at night. Almost getting ready to leave. A ball for $2, a possum for $18, a chicken for $18, and a baby doll for $10. And that baby doll, this family had showed up. I guess it was probably around 6 o'clock they showed up, and she was looking through. She really wanted that baby doll, and her dad was like, we'll come back after the rodeo's over. So they made a special attempt to come to my booth and get that baby doll at around 9:30 because the rodeo was still going. Actually, the rodeo was still going when I left. So I left at 10 o'clock. My legs, oh my goodness, my ankles were so swollen I could barely move them. It hurt to walk. I don't know if it was the salt on the crackers that I had with my lunch or what, but my feet swelled up, my ankles swelled up, my legs, my calves were swollen. And yeah, I had all I could do to just shut it down and go home. And thankfully, they allowed us to come back the next morning and tear down the booth. Anyway, so yeah, that was an adventure. And of course, with all that, my feet were still swollen for 2 more days. So that was, I don't know what happened. I haven't had that happen in probably 10 years. And that was, wow. And it's usually salt related for me, at least. All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of the numbers. Let's see here. Okay. So it costed me $100, and hubby is still upset about this because, we were looking forward to 2 full days and we got 1.5 days. But, I mean, technically 2 full days on the square is from 8 to 5. And so it kind of works out the same as far as hours go. But, yeah. $100, it's $50 a day. Because it was held at the rodeo, there was no city fee because it was out of city limits. And I was hoping to make around $700, which that's a low estimate. And so I usually always put like a low estimate of what I hope to make at each event. And yeah. Anyway, there was a total of 17 hours, and my gross earnings was $627. And let's see, 381 of that was square, and 246 of that was cash. So definitely a lot more of the card usage because, again, a lot of people were not there to shop. They were there for the rodeo. So they whipped out the card instead of having cash. Alright, and of course I paid hubby his fee, which was $42. And so that brings my total profit down to $485. And I sold 55 items, and my biggest sellers were, hold on. The biggest sellers were the small sea turtles. I sold all 5 of them. Small snakes, I sold 4 of those. And stickers. I sold 7 sets of stickers. Those were my top earners this week. So again, yes, sea turtles. But I made those really small ones, and those all went really fast. $10 little sea turtles. And of course, when those were gone, I started to sell some larger ones. So as you can see, everybody was after the smallest price because, of course, they were not there to shop. They were there for the rodeo. I definitely, next time, if that happens again, I am going to have to really think hard about whether or not that is going to be a good event for me for next year. Yeah. Again, like I said, last year I made almost $1,000. And I do know the economy is definitely gone down some. But yeah, I heard from a lot of people that downtown was packed. So I really think I didn't get my biggest amount out of that event as I could have. But it still went fairly well, considering that it was way out of town. You know? It still went very well. I'm not complaining about how much I made because I did make almost my goal. I mean, really close to my goal. So I'm not complaining about that. I'm just complaining about the actual changing up of things. And every vendor I talked to was as confused as I was as to why they moved it. And, you know, a lot of vendors didn't even make their booth fee back. And that was sad. So, yeah. Alright. So, I did spend a little bit of money this time. Basically because I had all these hours of nothing to do. So, I did buy a lunch on Friday. A dinner on Friday. And then I did also buy a snack on Saturday. And I bought hubby a jar of honey from a local vendor. So, local honey. And so I spent $20. Yeah. Dinner, a snack, and honey. Excuse me. $20. Well, in other news, as far as events go, I did have 7 events lined up on my schedule. Well, 2 of those events are no longer happening. They were doing a 3rd Saturday at the feed store, but they're not doing that anymore. And also, there was supposed to be rumor of a county fair in October, but apparently they're having really hard time finding a location for that. And so as of right now, that's looking more like it's going to happen next year, not this year. So I am down to 4 markets for this year, for the rest of this year. 2 in October, 1 in November, 1 in December. So not a lot to look forward to there. I'm going to do some research and see if I can find some more events to get into. Hopefully not too far away from home, but we'll see. So after having, I guess you could say, a few bad markets that didn't quite meet my expectations, my my estimated growth for these markets, I put in how much I'm fingers crossed hoping to make, and compare that to how much I've already made in gross. I am just $200 over. I am over $200 of my estimated amount. So the next 4 events, whatever I do make, is going to be over and above what my estimates were. My estimates are including those next 4 events as well. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see, what else do we have left to talk about? I've already gotten started on my big long list of things that need to be done, and things that I not only need to fill in the gaps of the things I normally carry, but then I also need to switch over and start doing some holiday items. So, yeah, interesting. We'll see how that goes. So far, I know today is, Thursday. So far, I've gotten 2 dragons done, a lizard, 5 little pocket frogs, and a little, I was following this pattern. I don't know where I got it from, but I wrote it down on a piece of paper a long time ago, and I was just going through my little pieces of paper, and let's see what this is. And I was making it up, and it's supposed to be a teddy bear. And somehow the muzzle was like almost the size of the whole head. And I was like, good grief, that can't be right. So I downsized that. And then the ears, I couldn't get them to work right. So I changed those. And needless to say, I ended up with a monkey instead of a little bear. So that's my adventures for this week. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see y'all later. Bye-bye.